You're watching the Calgary Stampede Parade!
From Calgary, Alberta, CBC is proud to present the GMC Calgary Stampede Parade. Brought to you by GMC, 365 days a year.
Under the clearest, bluest sky you could possibly imagine, you're looking west, straight down 9th Avenue in Calgary, Alberta, at the start of the greatest outdoor show on earth. This is the kickoff to the 2001 edition of the GMC Calgary Stampede Parade. Hundreds of thousands of people are lining the streets, as you can see. The weather is absolutely perfect, and just minutes from now, the parade is already in sight. One of the great spectacles of North America will be rolling right onto your TV screen. Hi, I'm Bob Nicholson.
And I'm Doug Dirks. Now, Bob, you and I have worked together for years, but it's my first time working up here, doing the play-by-play in color, so to speak, of the Stampede Parade. I'm allergic to animal hair. Is that going to be a problem?
Yeah, because there's 700 horses are going to be going right underneath us. We're about 15 feet off the street, up over the parade route. It's the best seat in the house, and you are sharing it with us. There is no better place to watch this parade from other than here, except for maybe the people on the street, and there are hundreds of thousands of them. Some have been here since 5 o'clock in the morning to stake out a good spot on the curb. They bring their lawn chairs and their kids. You can see them there, and they are in for a great treat.
24 bands, 32 floats. I'm not allergic to any of those. That's nothing right to sneeze at there, Bob. So they've already been entertained by the pre-parade. They're primed. They're ready to go. 300,000 people, as we said. Apparently, that's a new attendance record. They tell us that every year.
And every year it's true. There's more and more people. Look, we got a great team to help you bring us the coverage of this parade. I want to start introducing them to you right now. She is the queen of the morning. She is an essential part of the CBC morning show on News World. Her name is Colleen Jones. She's on the street. Colleen, welcome.
And I'm the rookie of the team, aren't I? I've never been to the Stampede Parade before. I knew it was good, though, earlier this morning when I saw people sleeping out overnight to make sure that they had the best seat in the house. I know you guys think you have the best seat in the house, but these people and me have the best seat in the house. I'm going to be street side during the parade, and I'll be talking to, first person I'm looking forward to talking to is the Grand Marshal of the parade. That would be Chris Hatfield, fresh from outer space to Calgary. So we'll find out what life is like, not just up there. I think I should get away out of the way of the motorcade, though, coming, because the parade is about to start. And perfect conditions. Beautiful sunshine, 24 degrees. What more can we ask for except for the parade to begin under beautiful skies and the best seat in the house right over here. Can I join you? I want to make sure I watch and see it all. All right. Right now, back to Bob and Doug.
Okay, thanks, Colleen. By the way, she looks great in that cowgirl outfit.
We hope she doesn't get run over in the first 30 seconds of the parade. Being from Halifax, you know, the horses, we're just going to make sure that we have a bodyguard down there for her because she is a world-class curler as well.
That's right.
We don't want to lose her before the Olympic trials.
You know it.
Also joining us down on the street today from CBC's Newsreel, Christina Barnes and Ken Lee McQuailo. What's going on down there, guys?
Oh, we're having a great time. There are hundreds of thousands of people already lining the streets, and we're here. Just in case you don't know, we are the Peter and Patricia Mansbridge for the teenagers.
That's one way to say it. We do a 5-minute show every day on CBC just before The Simpsons at 5 to 5, and it's all news and it's very fast.
Yeah, but today we are on the street talking to people, looking at things.
We're definitely looking forward to meeting some of the people that have camped out, like Colleen said.
Hey, did you say you're on just before The Simpsons?
We are. We're at the opening act.
Great time.
Bart.
Do you actually know Bart Simpson at all?
Of course, and we know he has 4 fingers for a reason. So
You
play
talk to
safe.
them all the time.
Don't.
What are you going to be doing on the street?
We're going to be talking to people. We've rounded up a bunch of people that there's so many interesting stories down here, why people have come to the parade from all over the world.
And actually, we're both from Calgary,
That's right.
so we've been in the parade, but we've never really visited with the people along the sides too much before, so we're really
Christina's
looking
been
forward
on
to it.
horses. I've marched in a marching band. We've done it all, except this.
But now you're living the dream. You're on
That's
the
right.
other side of the microphone.
And I get to wear Wranglers. Yeah.
Yahoo.
You both look fantastic in your
Thank you.
outfits. We're really looking forward to hearing from all those people on the street from all over the world. We're going to take a short commercial break right now. The parade is coming into view. We'll be right back with our coverage.
With the new Duramax diesel engine and an Allison automatic transmission, the 300-horsepower GMC Sierra Heavy Duty is the most powerful diesel pickup ever. It's a bit of a fixer-upper. The all-new GMC Sierra Heavy Duty.
Welcome back to Calgary, and before the parade, Gord, by the way, slept in his car overnight to make sure you had the best seat in the house. Was it worth it?
Yes, it was.
Definitely.
It was well worth it.
And you never miss a parade. What's the best thing?
I'd say the bands and the horses.
Excellent. We're looking forward to that. Now, all the way from Brazil and Mexico, this is your first Stampede.
Yeah.
What are you expecting?
Oh, I love Canada.
You love Canada, but you said handsome cowboys. Wasn't that what you're looking for?
We're looking for the handsome cowboys.
There better be some. This is your first parade. You and me both. We're rookies at it. Excellent. You know, it was just neat to see. And you see the motorhomes and things like that here? They come early, they come often, they sit a long time. And they come equipped with gear too, like lots of drinks and snacks and everything, because it is quite a parade. Bob.
Thanks, Colleen. Before the parade heaves into sight, we've got some people to thank. Skyreach Equipment provided us with the crane. You're going to see some fabulous camera shots right over top of the parade. I told you it's the best seat in the house. We want to thank Ferguson Glass for helping take the glass out from behind us. We want to thank Western Canadian Place, who has provided us with a place to view the parade from, and Riley and McCormick, the original Western Wear store. You look quite nice.
Yeah, where's your hat, Bob?
I could have had that shirt, you know. But I left it for you.
Thanks
to Riley and McCormick.
And of course, we want to thank Jetstream Digital Video. Bunch of firsts for the parade this year.
That's right.
We have Colleen, her first parade. We have a couple of inflatables, never had that before, 40-foot inflatable balloons. And first time you can actually watch the parade on the web. And all you have to do to see that is point your browser at calgary.cbc.ca, and a replay will also be available on the page. So if you're here and you can't see it, somebody can tell your friends, go to the web page, and there it'll be. You'll see yourself perhaps.
And let's see Kenley McQuailo right now on the street. Ken.
Hi there, guys. I'm here talking to some of the many Canadians that come out to see the parade. I'm with Erna and a whole bunch of people. Where are you from, Erna?
We're from Kitchener, and we're on a 22-day tour to Western Canada with overland tours.
22 days of fun. And this is your last Canadian stop.
No, yes, it is, but we want to make sure that we're here for the parade.
What are you expecting to see here today?
Oh, just lots of fun, because we love parades. Kitchener, we have parade for Oktoberfest.
Oh, Oktoberfest is a big deal out in Kitchener.
Yeah.
Now, you've got a whole bunch of people traveling with you. Some of them are first-time parade goers, but I understand you've been here before.
And that's why we wanted to come back and see it again.
All right, sing for me, guys. Let's hear you.
I'm Prosit.
Back to you.
Noodles the clown, how's the air?
Oh my God, it's warm, but it's so fun.
You have to walk the entire route on these?
Yeah.
What's up your pant legs there? This must be hard to do.
Yeah,
Good,
but it's okay.
good. Don't think about how hard
I'll tell
it
you
is.
the trick, but it's easy.
I know the kids want to keep you going, so you keep on walking. I love this bicycle over here. Talk about a flash from the past there. Is that thing hard to drive? Try to focus now. Is it hard to drive?
Not when you talk to me. No.
How old is this?
Oh, it's about 25 years old. It's a replica.
Oh, thank goodness.
Not an original.
Yeah, that's right. You didn't have it as a young child. Thanks very much. We're looking forward to the parade. I got to get out of the way. The parade is coming.
You can't stop the parade.
I mustn't
You're
do
gonna
that.
find that out. Hey, we got a continuing story. Colleen got a brand new pair of cowboy boots. She just bought them yesterday. I want to know how those feet are doing after 2 hours on the asphalt.
It's a good thing that she's not marching in the parade, because it's 4.5 kilometers long.
You said
and
it.
let me tell you, 2.5 hours in this heat in brand new boots, she's going to need a podiatrist at the end of it.
These folks have a lot of stamina. Now look, what you're seeing now is the Calgary Stampede Show Band, the official band of the Calgary Stampede. When you see them, you know the parade is here. 21st consecutive appearance leading the parade. They are a world champion band. They don't come any better than this. They were in Europe for the 2000 World Marching Band Championships. They're flying the World Championship flag, and they're heading back to Europe for more competition right after the Stampede. So you're going to hear some fine, fine musicians in the next 2.5 hours.
And I saw the Stampede band just a couple of days ago at the Canada Day Parade in Canmore, just outside of Banff, and they are fabulous.
Let's give a listen to the Calgary Stampede Show Band, 150 members strong. kids are pumped up. It's the biggest crowd you ever play in front of. There's 300,000 people lining the streets of Calgary. This city is shut down for the morning. Nothing goes on here but the Stampede Parade. And right behind that tuba player, you're going to see the first of the mounted parties, the many horsemen and horsewomen that you're going to see in this parade. More than 600 horses.
And you know, being the lead band does come with a price, Bob, though. The band will make more than 80 appearances throughout Stampede Week. If you're down on the grounds, they are going through there all the time. Everyone wants to have a piece of this band because they are so good.
They're the best. And those are the Stampede Show Riders, the mounted troupe that accompanies the Stampede Show Band on a lot of its exhibitions and performances. Formed back in '85. This year they'll travel with the band to Germany and Holland when they compete, and they'll be performing on their own. They're excellent horsemen and horsewomen. Check out some of the saddles and bridles of the Stampede Show Riders, 18 members strong.
All right, now let's go to the parade marshal, Chris Hadfield. We have an astronaut leading the parade this year, and there's the world-class curler ready to talk to Chris Hadfield.
I know, and you know the neat thing is that he's getting a rock star ovation from the people. Chris Hadfield, good morning to you. How are you?
Hey, good morning. What could be better to be a Canadian on this horse in this parade in Calgary today at the Stampede? It's unbeatable.
I'm telling you, and you're used to the horse too, are you?
Yeah, we're getting used to each other.
Excellent. Now listen, what was it like? I mean, you've gone from outer space as an astronaut, now you're in the biggest cowboy show in the world. What's that like? What's that like?
Oh, it's a real treat. I grew up on a farm, and I've had a chance to ride a lot of different machines, but it's really nice to have a chance to ride a horse in the Stampede morning parade. It's great.
We all want to know, what's it like up there in outer space? Tell us that.
It's unbelievable. You're floating weightless. You're building Canadian hardware onto the space station. You're going around the world every 90 minutes. It's unbelievable. You get to see all of Canada in 10 minutes, coast to coast.
Yeah, two unbelievable things here. Have fun as the parade marshal. Thank you.
Thanks, Colleen.
What an awesome parade marshal.
A real Canadian hero. So many firsts. The first Canadian ever to visit the Mir space station. The first Canadian ever to float free in space. Amazing guy. And with Chris Hadfield is the whole crew of the Space Shuttle mission. The Americans, there they are. The Kent Rominger, Jeffrey Ashbury, Scott Parazynski, and John Phillips, all U.S. astronauts. Umberto Guidoni from Italy and Yuri Lanchikov Valentovich. I think I said that correctly. He's from Russia. The whole crew that was aboard that space station experiment and mission.
All right, let's go down to Christina Barnes on the street.
I'm down here with Melise. She's originally from Germany, but she's been living in Calgary for a long time. How many parades have you been to?
Oh, 16, 17. And the kids were small. We were 5 o'clock sitting already in the side curves here.
You've got relatives and friends here from Germany. Yeah. What are you hoping that they'll see? What's your favorite part of the parade?
Oh, the horses. That's my favorite, you see.
And is there anything they're really looking forward to?
And the Indians. That's why they want to say, all the kids want to say the Indians, how everything be presented.
Perfect. Well, enjoy the parade.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody will. And there is the Calgary Stampede float. This is an amazing float. Check it out. Built by volunteers. The bull on that float that you're looking at in front view is giving the rider a run for his money. All that cowboy's thinking about is staying on for 8 seconds. And if he does that, and it's no easy task, because the bulls win more than the cowboys, if he stays on for 8 seconds, he qualifies for the $50,000 grand prize if he can hang on.
And the Stampede Rodeo kicks off this afternoon down on the grounds. And there's also, at the same time, here's a huge coincidence. There's a big athletic therapy conference going on at the University of Calgary, and they are dealing with the injuries that cowboys endure. If you've ever been behind the scenes, these guys are put together with tape. They're put together with all kinds of slings, but they get out there and try to hold on for that 8 seconds.
That's all it takes, supposedly. It's easy to say it.
Yeah.
8 seconds is an eternity when you're on one of those things. Look at this float. In January, the float and some of the committee members behind it traveled to Hong Kong and participated in the Chinese New Year's parade. So that float has been around the world. It's a great one.
They also served up 4,000 beef on a bun to the folks in Hong Kong. They loved it so much. I don't know if they loved the float more or the beef more, but they've already been invited back for next year's New Year's celebration.
Here comes the first of the many military bands you're going to see in the parade today. 24 bands. Tell us about this one.
Well, this is the Air Command Band. They're the premier band for the Canadian Air Force. The band was formed in 1946, started performing the following year, then based in Edmonton as the Northwest Air Command Band. But now they're based in Winnipeg, Manitoba. They are the 17-wing Winnipeg. Let's give a listen.
These guys are pros, men and women. It's not just pilots and mechanics who sometimes play. These are professional musicians. This is what they do.
Red convertible. Mayor Al Durgood, hello.
How are you?
Aren't you lucky to be driving in this?
I sure am. I've been driving in this every year now. It's just great. This is my last year.
Are you going to miss this?
Well, I'm going to miss it. You can't help but miss Stampede Parade. It's wonderful. The crowd's great. It's the embodiment of Stampede.
And Calgary and Western hospitality and all that
all that good stuff. That's very much part of it. But the difference is next year I'll be out there.
I know.
I'll be cheering.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's a tip. Come early. Come early. Come often.
Come often, yeah. I'll come often.
Listen, nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you, too.
What a car. I'm loving that. Nothing like a shiny red convertible.
Official car.
Official car? Go for it, I say. Go for it. Mayor Aldur, yeah, he might disagree with it. Beautiful car, Mayor Aldur, in his last official capacity with the parade. But of course, now he'll be a spectator like the rest of us. He'll still have fun.
We have just passed the Stampede royalty, the Stampede Queen and her two princesses. These girls are the busiest people in a very busy time in Calgary. We've prepared this little story to show you just how busy the Stampede royalty really is.
On Parade, brought to you by GMC, 365 days a year.
From riding down Calgary's streets to making the rounds on the lunch hour circuit, the Stampede Queen and her two princesses are booked into a schedule that would make most royalty wither.
And we hope maybe you guys can make it out to the Stampede July 6th to 15th.
Ambassadors of the greatest outdoor show on earth, this trio will appear at 150 events during the Stampede's 10-day run. They'll sashay their way through seniors' homes, do-si-do through dozens of pancake breakfasts and rodeo openings, and Alaman left through countless dance lessons.
Not a side, two ladies, chain across, turn that girl.
It's a whirlwind rain, but it's something Queen Maria Hines says is completely and memorably worthwhile.
The camaraderie and everything about it, it's just a highlight of everybody's life is the Stampede.
On Parade was brought to you by GMC, 365 days a year.
You are watching the CBC's coverage of the greatest spectacle in Canada, the 2001 edition of the Calgary Stampede Parade. This is the kickoff to a show that if we had a week, we couldn't tell you all the things that will happen in the Stampede. And when you get a small town marching towards you, 4,200 people, it's an awesome spectacle.
750 horses, 4.5 kilometers long, the parade route. Takes about 2.5 hours to complete. There's so much work that goes into this. Everyone puts their heart and soul into this event, and everyone on the street, 300,000 people strong, appreciates it, trust me, because they are yahooing and clapping and having a great time.
Here's one of my favorite entries. I love these guys. This is the Calgary Police Service Pipe Band. One of several pipe bands you're going to hear. I love the pipes. Not all of these guys are serving police officers. Some are retired police officers. There's some civilians. This is an excellent, excellent pipe band that performed all over the world. And here's a crowd pleaser. The Calgary Stampede Miniature Donkey Committee. Believe it or not, there is a committee behind all this. Little tiny donkeys. They're 36 inches tall, just about a meter tall. They're between 5 and 7 years old, and they're all named after liquor. Bartles, James, Johnny Walker, except for Jack Nicholson. We got Jack Daniels and Captain Morgan. Now they're very strong, they say, very strong. Everybody thinks donkeys are stubborn. They're not stubborn, they're smart because they don't waste their energy. If there's no reason to move, they stand still.
All right, let's go down to Colleen on the street. Colleen?
I'm with Canadian bareback champion Davy Shields. Hello.
Hi there.
Looking forward to the Stampede, I bet.
Oh yeah, it's always a favorite of the year.
No kidding, for a bareback champ. Now you've got a saddle on today, thank goodness for that. What makes you guys do what you do? I've always trying to figure that out.
Oh, it's the love of the sport. Just love going to rodeos and competing with the other guys.
Well, the rodeo is what it's all about. How many things have you broken in your day?
Oh, I broke a few bones.
Too many to mention. Have fun during the parade and good luck during the Stampede.
All right, thanks.
Because let's face it, it's the big rodeo that's the big show.
Ground base, the wind is shifted. Get your guys out of there now.
The 285 horsepower GMC Sierra, with enough room inside for everyone.
The fire's out and the truck is clean.
GMC Sierra, 365 days a year.
You're watching the kickoff to the greatest outdoor show on earth, the Calgary Stampede Parade, leading off 10 days of our Mardi Gras in Calgary.
And right now we're taking a look at the float from the Royal Tyrrell Museum, and that was voted the most creative entry. And the Royal Tyrrell Museum, of course, in Drumheller is absolutely fabulous. It pays a tribute and basically a living, well, not a living history.
They're all dead.
The dinosaurs have been gone for a while, that's right. But
look at that raptor.
To our history as far as the dinosaurs living and dying here in Alberta, southern Alberta. All kinds of memorabilia there, of course. There's bones. There's they have animatronics, I guess. That's is what I'm trying to say. They're not alive, but they look like they're alive.
The museum's in the Badlands, just northeast of Calgary, where there's thousands and thousands of dinosaur bones being dug up every year. It's one of the most incredible museums in the world. If you're ever out here, you got to see it.
And coming up, the Burlington Teen Tour Band, all the way from Burlington, Ontario. Formed in 1947. They last played at the Stampede in 1982, so nearly 2 decades ago, and we welcome them back. And let's have a listen.
Love the way they always stop right in front of our camera and play.
That's such a coincidence, Bob.
That's why we've got the best seat in the house. How many drums do you think you could play?
I could play 1 drum at a time, 1 stick at a time.
Well, this guy could do 4. I see you as a tuba guy myself.
I've always wanted to play the saxophone.
Try the tuba.
So you must have had to get up pretty early to get down here. What time did you get up?
6.
Oh, that's not that early. So what's your favorite part of the parade?
The favorite part?
Yeah, what's your favorite part? It's so hard to decide. There's so many things in the parade, isn't it? Well, you're here with your mom, and Ken's going to have...
Yep, I'm here with Sheila. She's a mom of one of the couple of kids out of the thousands of kids that are here watching. Now, it's quite a commitment to get these guys up and early. What time did you arrive?
We arrived here about 7:30.
What was your preparations like this morning?
Oh, well, they slept for as long as they could, but then we had to have a quick breakfast, and we packed most of the breakfast here. We just usually have a snack on the bleachers.
Have they been buzzing all week about this?
Yeah, they have. The parade is just a wonderful thing for them, and they just love the Stampede.
That's great.
Exciting for them.
Well, to all the families out there, you have a great time. And thanks very much.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, the Rafter 6 is one of the wonderful guest ranches in some of the most beautiful country you've ever seen. It's been a long time part of the parade. I want to tell you a little bit more about this wonderful facility to the west of Calgary, right in the foothills.
On Parade, brought to you by GMC, 365 days a year.
One of the parade's longest running entries is the Cowley family's Rafter 6 Ranch, which is just west of Calgary.
Well, Rafter 6 is a ranch resort. It started out as a small guest ranch and over the years has developed and primarily a horse operation, which entertains guests.
Every year, the Cowleys bring a piece of their ranch to the streets of Calgary. It's happened for so long that it's become a family tradition.
My kids have been in the parades before they were born. They've now got a tradition where they've been in more parades than their years because they've been in them before they were 1 year old. So my son, who now is 20, has been in 21 parades. But I'm still a young man.
On Parade was brought to you by GMC, 365 days a year.
And you talk about On Parade, you're watching CBC's coverage of the greatest parade in Canada, and here's a stirring sight, the RCMP marching ahead of the RCMP Veterans Association.
Now the RCMP, a couple of years ago, during the rodeo presentation, they brought out the musical ride. It was a big hit, and you know the RCMP, when they come anywhere with the musical ride, it's one of the fan favorites. And these guys are as disciplined as they come.
Now, right behind the Mounties in their red surge, you see that old-time bus. Now, if you had been out touring the Rockies before World War II, that's the kind of vehicle you would ride around in. And those are members of the RCMP Veterans Association. There are 13 of them in that antique bus, and the bus donated by Brewster's Transport. If you've ever been to Banff, you've probably seen the Brewster organization. They've been doing tours of Banff since they started Banff.
And they're the most popular folks to get a picture with. I mean, that red surge is identified around the world.
That's right. Now, right behind the RCMP veterans, this is a great set of people. The past Stampede queens and princesses. Some of them go all the way back to the 1950s. They're all good horsewomen. They know their way around a Stampede parade, and they've waved their way down 9th Avenue a time or two in the past.
Okay, Bob, this is where I bring in the telepathy part of the show. I'm going to ask 1954 Stampede Queen Evelyn Locker and 1961 Princess Lynn McMillan to wave. Oh, wait, they're all waving. Never mind.
That's their job. That's what they do.
Okay, so it's not the best telepathy, but it worked, didn't it?
I told you you'd see lots of pretty girls in this parade, and here's an example. Past Stampede queens and princesses.
And they're waving to us now. See, Bob, I told you.
I think they're waving to me. Hi, girls.
I'm with Ian Graham. He's one of the head honchos at GMC right here in Calgary. Welcome, Ian.
Thank you very much, Ken.
Why is it important for your company to be a part of this great parade?
Well, I think you're seeing it out here today. I mean, there's so many people out here, lots of families, and this is just a great thing for us to be part of with GMC.
Now, with these horses going by, your company's all about horsepower, so it's a nice fit, I guess.
Oh, you better believe it.
And
we've got all the trucks down here.
I understand you're a single guy, so you might be scoping for more than just a new truck today, eh?
Oh, I'm just here to enjoy the weather. We'll just leave it at that.
And I noticed that you've got some friends out here. You're from Calgary.
Absolutely. I've been out of town for about the last 4 or 5 years. I'm coming back, and I'm running into all kinds of folks I know, so it's great to be back in
I know that Ian was saying hi to Stampede Princess 1998, so I'll let you run and say hi to her. That's it from us. Thanks.
Take care.
And coming up now, we have the University of Calgary float. Earlier in the parade, we saw the Marshal, of course, Chris Hadfield, who has actually been into space. And this is, of course, a mock-up of the Canadarm, which was invented right here in Canada. And we saw Chris Hadfield during that extensive coverage on News World, out there in space, floating around, attaching it, moving it around. And the U of C has put this float together, and they have several students marching along. I don't think they were actually on the mission, but they looked like they could have been.
There's a future student. And here, another one of the fantastic marching bands that the parade is famous for. This is the Regina Lions B Band. I don't know what happened to the A Band, but they brought the B Band this year, and they're good. celebrating their 55th anniversary, 5-5, under Michael Alstad, the musical director. They often play for the Regina Lions, Pride of the Lions band. They're welcome to the Stampede Parade today. The Regina Lions B-Band. Doug's trying to remember the words to this song.
And here are the members of the Windy Ridge Riders Association. This mounted party dressed in black jeans, black chaps, and black hats. And their teal, white, and black shirts match the teal and black tack on the horses, Bob. There's a little fashion
Sharp outfits
sense for you, exactly.
One of the many mounted color parties that are peppered throughout the parade, kind of as punctuation. Clubs of people who love to ride and love to dress up and march in parades.
Let's go down to Christina Barnes at street level.
There are a lot of great seats down here today. I think Heather and Taylor have managed to get one of the best. How early did you get up to get down?
About 7:15 we were here on the street.
Well, that's not too bad. So how did you get this spot? Is there a strategy?
No, I just started, when I got down here it was pretty much full, so we kind of had to squeeze in, which is because there's just the two of us. We got in pretty quick in here.
And you're both enjoying it?
Very much. Taylor's loving it.
You're watching CBC's coverage of the 2001 edition of the Stampede Parade.
Earlier today, a toddler was miraculously saved from a 7-story fall.
Frank, you made the news.
Introducing the first sport utility that's as comfortable as it is capable.
Thanks for the lift. You always drive?
Yeah. I hate flying. The 2002 Envoy from GMC.
All right, Bob, this is one of my favorite groups right here. They are the Chick Wagon. The Chick Wagon Foundation, of course, has become a well-known participant in the Stampede Parade, and this is great. What they do is they go out and they buy a chuck wagon, which runs in the Rangeland Derby every night, the half mile of hell, as it's called, when the chuck wagons rumble around that track down at Stampede Park. And it's a charitable organization. They put together a mentoring group for young women between the ages of 18 and 30. And they are by far the most entertaining group you'll ever see. If you go down to the chuck wagon races, they are there in full force. They have the gear, they have the jackets, and right now,
and they got the mascot
costumes. Right now, they're just dressed up as chicks.
And the people in the crowd are loving it. And what's not to like?
And this is the one time we can get away with calling them chicks.
They've raised $60,000 so far, so a great organization. There's some of the crowd, people who've been around since before the sun came up this morning to make sure they got prime spots on 9th Avenue. And there's an important part of the parade. When you got almost 700 horses, you get a lot of horse product. And that's why we have street sweepers sweeping through to make sure things stay clean, because you don't want to be the band that's marching behind a big troop of horses.
Well, you know, that's how they invented the two-step, Bob. It wasn't an actual dance. It was to avoid the cow patties.
Here's another one of the many bands around the Calgary Stampede. This is the Stetson Show Band, perennial performers in the Stampede Parade. Many of the members come from the Roundup Band. They graduate to the Stetson Show Band, and maybe then they go on to lead the parade someday with the show band. So let's give a listen to the Calgary Stetson Show Band, all between 16 and 18 years of age. They have to be going to high school and involved in their school band program to be a member of this group. They're good musicians.
It's a salsa man, Bob.
You've got all their records, don't you?
And the Stetson Band, of course, will be performing this weekend at the big equestrian event out at Spruce Meadows, the world-class equestrian facility. The North American is going on there. And then they're off to Chiba, Japan in 2002 for the World Championships.
We're looking at some of the huge draft horses, some of the many workhorses that you'll see in the parade today. These are Percherons. You'll see Clydesdales. You'll see some great big monstrous horses in beautiful rigs hauling immensely heavy wagons behind them. So if you're a fan of horse flesh, this is the place to be.
That
Stick
group
around.
all the way from Ferndale, Washington.
There's lots more to see in this parade, including Doug's alma mater.
That's right,
Coming into sight right now.
That's right, Mount Royal College.
That's
Not
right.
just my alma mater, also Christina Barnes. Best 7 years of college I've ever spent, Bob.
It's supposed to be a 2-year program, folks.
That's right. In fact, I worked at Mount Royal College after I graduated for a couple of years in the athletic department there, and I had to wear the mascot suit occasionally, Calvin the Cougar. And the Cougar is often part of this float as well. And the Cougar had a little casualty, shall I say, a couple of years ago when it got to about 30 degrees. That suit is extremely hot. And wound up walking half the parade and riding half the parade.
By the way, you're looking at the best overall entry in the whole Stampede parade right now. The city of Trail, BC, in the Rockies. The city celebrated its 100th birthday last month.
Now, in case you're not familiar with Trail, British Columbia, and where it is, it has a population of just over 8,000 people, located 27 kilometers south of Castlegar in southern BC. Bob, you're very familiar with that, because didn't you start your broadcast career up there?
Terrace, BC.
Terrace, BC.
I started off in Terrace, up in the northwest part of the province. Beautiful country.
Base, come in. This is Eagle 18. The wind has shifted. Get your guys out of there now.
The 285 horsepower GMC Sierra. With enough room inside for everyone.
The fire's out, and the truck is clean.
GMC Sierra, 365 days a year.
And you are right in the middle of the greatest parade in Canada. You know, I was talking about Mount Royal College a minute ago. I was just kidding, because here they are. This time, we really mean it, folks. This is Mount Royal College's float. They've been a part of Calgary for how long? 90 years, celebrating their 90th anniversary this year. And, of course, the distinguished Doug Dirks, one of the many graduates of Mount Royal, who's found a job.
One of the few, I guess.
No,
I'm just
one of the
kidding.
many.
I'm just kidding. 35,000 students. This college has been expanding in leaps and bounds over the past couple of years. In fact, now is granting degrees. I had to leave Mount Royal to go get a university degree in Montreal at McGill, but now that wouldn't even have to leave home.
That's right. And here's some kids who are loving what they're seeing. Some of the 300,000 people lining this parade route this morning. Look at them all the way down 9th Avenue.
Another thing about Mount Royal College, Bob, one of the most successful athletic programs in the country. In fact, they were voted the top college athletic program in Canada for the past quarter century. They've won numerous national championships in hockey. In fact, they won last year. Basketball, volleyball, a tremendous athletic program. And they send a lot of their athletes on to the university level.
And when you look at this, we'll go now to Christina Barnes on the street.
Also a successful graduate of Mount Royal College. There is a few of us out there. Well, you know, you may have noticed that we're dressed kind of fancy today, and that's courtesy of Riley McCormick's, the original Western clothing store.
That's right, Christina, but we're not the only ones dressed up in duds. This is Teresa. Hi, Teresa. How you doing?
Hi, just great, thanks.
Now, how did you choose out of the many Western outfits you have? How did you choose this one today?
Well, it was a little bit warm today, so I wasn't going to wear black. I decided I would wear something a little cooler. do have my coat on, but I'm going to take that off pretty soon. It is a really warm day today. Beautiful day for this.
And you dress up every day. This is what you do during Stampede. You and many, almost all the Calgarians.
Yes, that's right. Lived here for many years and always dress up every day. I have quite a few different Western outfits.
Now, do you dress your husband too? You better talk to Larry there. I think he's getting off easy.
Explain to us, Larry, what's it like to be in this city while everyone's this dressed up?
Well, it's great. I wear blue jeans most of the time because I do a little riding, but it's nice to fit right in with the crowd for 10 days and wear Western clothes. It's always great. Yeah.
Better than a suit and tie, and we thank Riley and McCormick for their help on this.
There's some people with sharp outfits. Those are the Parks Canada wardens who have some of the greatest jobs in the world. They ride those horses for a living way out in the backcountry, patrolling Canada's national parks, some of the most beautiful scenery in the world. That's their job. That's the office for these people. They're wearing these traditional green tunics that date back to 1937, but I hear they're getting new uniforms.
New uniforms? How
Yeah,
are we going to identify them? And these park wardens?
You know, this is the best spot to see this parade, and we're sharing it with you and everybody in the world. For the first time ever, the parade is on the internet, so if you want to dial it up, go to the CBC website, follow the pointers from there, and you can see this show. If you miss it, or tell your friends, if you're on the phone to people in Japan or Germany, everybody can see this live right now. It makes our audience even bigger. So in addition to the 300,000 people on the parade route, millions of people around the world will see this spectacle.
CBC.ca. Let me check that just to be sure. Yeah, that's absolutely right. I didn't want to steer you wrong, because if you went to the wrong website, Bob would be in trouble, wouldn't he?
That's right. Now you're looking at some of the many old-time hitches, old-fashioned wagons hauled by horses, some of the descendants of the pioneers of the Calgary area. And there's a kid who's going to take a picture. That camera's bigger than his head.
A little trouble focusing, I think.
Yeah.
Say thank you.
This is the pioneers and descendants, a traditional part of the Calgary Stampede Parade. You've got to be descended from one of the original pioneer families to ride in one of those wagons. Many of them. Of course, Calgary and the area has grown so amazingly. In the 20 years I've lived here, the city's practically doubled in size. We're approaching 1 million people in population. But we still have a strong sense of that ranch heritage, and the descendants of these people were the first people out here in the cattle business.
And Don Edge is this year's honored pioneer for 2001. He's the grandson of Donald Morrison, who homesteaded just west of Cochrane in 1887. Cochrane, of course, is a town just west of the city, about 30 minutes, home of the fabulous McKay's ice cream. There's a shameless plug. I love that ice cream out there.
That's right. Now here's a wonderful float. This is a half-scale model Viking ship built by members of the Danish-Canadian Club in Calgary. Volunteer labor. It was built to commemorate the 1000th anniversary of the Vikings in North America. So the Danes have a pretty strong claim on this territory, because they were here a long time ago.
And they have a strong contingent now in Calgary as well. Has approximately 2,000 members. Has been in existence since 1933, Bob.
They've got a great club downtown. They serve wonderful food. I've been there for a couple of functions. It's a great organization. They're always proud members of the Stampede Parade. They put in hundreds and hundreds of hours of volunteer effort. That's not professionally built. It's built by volunteers.
And I think that float is in its last parade, by the way. Going to be retired. Plans on sending this boat to a museum after it's finished sailing in the Stampede Parade.
And we're right behind them from Kimberley, British Columbia, the Kimberley Community Band. It's miners, it's forestry workers, lawyers and accountants, small business owners, teachers and students. Everybody from 8 to 70 years old, 25 members. All you need to be in this band is to love music.
And of course, Kimberley is a town about 3 hours drive west of Calgary. It's becoming quite a tourist mecca, golf and skiing. Several new golf courses out there, including Trickle Creek and St. Eugene Mission. And it has an old German feel to it. It was originally a German settlement.
That's right. So they've really got a beautiful little downtown. It's like being in the Black Forest or the Swiss Alps. Let's take a listen now to the Kimberley Community Band in the 2001 Calgary Stampede Parade. 76 trombones.
Actually, Bob, I think there are only about 12 of them.
There's only 25 people in the whole band, so how can they have 76 trombones?
I don't know.
Do the math.
It's the new math.
Can't happen.
And we are trying to follow your dog, Brian. Is this your dog, by the way?
Yeah, it
Tell
is.
me about the Stock Dog Association.
We're an association that was formed in 1984 to promote the use of stock dogs.
Ah, and back here we've got an example of what they can do, can they, with the sheep? Excellent. And are they behaving properly?
The dog or the sheep?
Both, I guess. Well, the dogs you can always count on, can't you?
Well, we're starting with the sheep. They're parade broke now.
How difficult is this to do when you're in the middle of a parade with horses and people and getting the dog to concentrate?
The dog doesn't have any problem concentrating. This is a natural thing for him.
Excellent. Well, look, he's got them right in line. Good job. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
There's a hard-working animal, Colleen. These dogs are indispensable if you are a sheep breeder. In fact, we prepared a little story to show you just how important these dogs are to the sheep industry.
On Parade, brought to you by GMC, 365 days a year.
Stock dogs are more than parade performers. In real life, they have a tradition of earning their keep in farmers' fields.
It's something that's been done for a couple of 100 years now, and started off in the north of England, southern Scotland, and to assist the farmers on the hillsides, because the shepherds, because they just couldn't do it on their own.
Come by.
Today's modern shepherds and stock dogs work as teams, using special calls, commands, and whistles. A farmer and a well-trained dog can round up a far-flung grazing herd, all in about the time it takes to walk by our booth.
On Parade was brought to you by GMC, 365 days a year.
Did you see the movie Babe? I'm pretty sure those dogs can talk, too. I was thinking Colleen might interview that dog.
How do we know the sheep?
The sheep are all talking about themselves.
Oh, how about the sheep aren't trained and the dog is just wandering around?
You're watching the greatest outdoor show on earth, the kickoff to it, 2001 edition of the Calgary Stampede Parade. As we gaze down 9th Avenue at Elkford, BC's float. Make tracks to Elkford, it says. It's coal mining country, just to the southwest of Alberta, just across the Rockies into the province of British Columbia.
Yeah, located in the BC Kootenays, is known as the wilderness capital of BC. 22-foot float depicting the abundance of wilderness found in and around Elkford. Elkford residents encourage all of today's spectators to make tracks to Elkford.
Now here is a town that's produced at least one great musician. This is Bob Dylan's hometown, Hibbing. It's also produced a great athlete. When the Boston Celtics were the best team in the world, Kevin McHale, one of the power forwards, one of the original power forwards in the NBA, also from Hibbing, Minnesota. Let's listen to the Hibbing High School Marching Blue Jackets. 106 members strong. They're playing Trooper Salute. Did you hear the rumor that Bob Dylan might show up for this because the Hibbing Band is here?
The parade happen. One of the things that makes it happen is volunteers. I'm here with Ruth Ann. How are you?
I'm just fine this morning, Ken. Thank you.
Now, I understand you're a longtime volunteer in the Stampede. What do you do?
I'm on the caravan committee. We're the ones that go to the shopping malls and do the free breakfast. We have hay rides, pony rides, face painting. We have a Western band. Marching bands come and visit us.
That's a lot of work. Now, you're probably not the only volunteer. How many does the Stampede have that runs this show?
The Stampede has almost 2,000 volunteers. There are 100 on our caravan committee.
That's incredible. Hundreds of volunteers to put on the greatest outdoor show on earth. And this is just one of the many. Congratulations, this is the Year of the Volunteer. Have a great time.
Thank you so much, Ken. We all enjoy it, whether we've been involved for 15 years or 20 or 1. It's a fabulous way to go.
And I have to say, your grandson is adorable.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope everybody has a wonderful Stampede.
All right, thanks.
You're looking at the Marlin Ranch 8-horse hitch, and here's Colleen.
Thank you. Yeah, Toshi Jackson and the Silhouettes, and you do quite a tribute to the Supremes too, do you, in your show?
Yes, we do, and we do a lot of Motown songs, a lot of oldies, and even some of the 80s, like the Pointer Sisters.
Oh, isn't that fun? Go ahead, stop in the name of love. Ready, girl? Come on, can you do it?
Stop in the name of love before you break my heart.
Thank you very much.
Stop in the name of love before you break my heart. Just stop.
They better not stop in the middle of the parade or they'll be rear-ended by the Calgary Flames Hockey Club, which is coming up behind.
Stop in the name of love. There's the essence of the Stampede. A beautiful yellow Chevy convertible with a Supremes imitator group inside doing Stop in the Name of Love. But you're right, you better not stop in the middle of the parade.
So many good performers here during Stampede down at the grounds. A lot of free shows. And, of course, Desperado is one of the big nightclubs here in town. They have put up a 30,000 square foot tent, Bob, which is going to hold between 5,000 and 6,000 people per night. And they're bringing in people like Dwight Yoakam.
That's right.
They're bringing in Blue Rodeo. It's fantastic.
We're down with Colleen now, and she's with some important people. Looks like the Calgary Flames.
Gilbert, yeah, the new coach of the Calgary Flames. Hello to you.
How are you today?
Giving quite a nice reception from the crowd, I might say.
This is great. This is great.
Right, what does it mean to be? Watch your traffic, by the way. Nothing like a horse. Somebody's turning around on you. What's it like to take part in this?
It's awesome. It's the best thing. It's next to the parade in New York. This is great. I mean, the people here in Calgary are so supportive.
Would it be nice to have a Flames parade with the Stanley Cup?
It sure would. It sure would. And that's what our ultimate goal is. So that's what we're aiming for. Thank you.
Lots of luck coaching.
Thank you. Have a good Stampede.
Great.
How are you?
And, of course, Greg Gilbert, the new head coach of the Calgary Flames. He's been in 3 Stanley Cup parades. There, of course, is Harvey the Hound, the most popular mascot probably in the National Hockey League. He's a stunt dog.
That's right. And he makes going to a Flames game a little bit more enjoyable, especially when they're not winning, right, Doug?
We'll skip right over that.
Just kidding. The Calgary Stampede Parade. Who are those guys with the hockey sticks down there?
Those are Young Guns. They're the Top Guns Hockey Development Incorporated group. They're a bunch of kids out there who are learning to play hockey. One of those days want to graduate to the Calgary Flames in the National Hockey League. There are 12 young hockey players walking alongside a miniature arena, and they're demonstrating their hockey skills. They're passing fake cow patties to each other. Now that's a pass you don't want to mishandle, Bob.
No, that's for sure. Can mess up your whole hockey sweater thing there.
And of course they have a referee on hand to call any penalties that he sees, people coming out of the crowd onto the parade route or not yahooing properly.
You're watching the CBC coverage of the 2001 edition of the Calgary Stampede Parade on a beautiful day. It's going to be 29 degrees according to the weather forecast. Doesn't get any better than this.
One of the most important parts of the parade, too, these are the unsung heroes. We've seen several bands come through already, Bob, and I've seen their people, volunteers, running along with water. 29 degrees outside. It's 2.5 hours, 4.5 kilometers in length. These young kids who are working extremely hard can get dehydrated, and the volunteers are running around and trying to make sure that they make it to the end of the parade because we want to make sure everyone gets through it safe and sound.
It takes some stamina to march and play. The parade route is 4.5 kilometers long, and it gets hot. You're wearing big, heavy costumes, so you got to stay hydrated. Look at this group. The Regimental Pipes and Drums of the Calgary Highlanders, a storied regiment, heroes in World War II and the liberation of Holland. These are their descendants, Regimental Pipes and Drums of the Calgary Highlanders.
I've made my way up into the stands. I found Barbara. She's here all the way from the San Francisco area. Now, how are you enjoying it so far?
It's absolutely wonderful. The people are so friendly and gentle and helpful.
So why did you choose the Calgary Stampede as your vacation?
Because it's the ultimate place to see a stampede and the chuck wagon races.
You said earlier it was your lifelong dream. How come?
Well, we've watched Stampedes since I was a little girl, and this was the ultimate Stampede, and so we finally retired, and this was our first place to head for.
Well, on behalf of all of Calgary, have a wonderful time.
Thank you very much. It's not going to be a problem.
No, it is not going to be a problem for the thousands, hundreds of thousands of visitors that the Stampede attracts to this city every year. Here's the best cultural entry in the parade this year, the Ismaili Muslim float, saluting the International Year of the Volunteer. And you know, the Stampede would not run without volunteers. Thousands of them. It's all volunteer. A very small paid staff. The rest is volunteer labor.
And coming up right behind them, this is a first for the Stampede Parade. They've never had inflatables, giant balloons, as it were. Of course, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in the United States, they're popular. They've been doing it for years, but this is the first time. This is the Shoppers Drug Mart inflatable, 45 feet tall. He's the life bearer.
Is he standing up? He can't be.
He's not standing up yet because they just went
here he
under
goes.
the traffic lights.
Look.
They have 40 people working, all volunteers. They have to pull that big bear down underneath traffic lights. They're going to have to pull it underneath our location. We're 15 feet above street level. It's 45 feet tall. They practice like crazy. I saw them at the Santa Claus Parade here in Calgary just a couple of weeks ago, or years ago, I should say, and good practice for them.
Do you know what? I'm in the middle of the parade. I like this. Listen, getting this thing up and down is quite a problem. You guys are working hard.
Oh, we definitely are. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too.
Okay, now you got an underpass to go over now. What do you think? How soon do you get it all going to pull the thing down?
We're gonna start pulling it down any second here. We're gonna have to reef on it really hard.
Hard muscle work. I'm gonna let you go to work because we're almost on the underpass.
If they don't pull that thing down, it's going to be joining us here in our broadcast location.
Bob, we're under attack by a 45-foot inflatable.
You see this guy behind us? He's 45 feet tall. Doug's getting a little bit nervous.
I am.
He's not only allergic to horsehair, he's allergic to bear hair.
Wait a second. If I get my keys out and the bear gets too close,
that'll be
self-defense. It's self-defense, Bob. There'll be a
45-foot tall deflatable. This is one of the new entries, some firsts this year of the Calgary Stampede. And this is a great spectacle. Look at this thing. 45 feet tall. Now they're pulling it down so that it can slip underneath the pedestrian overpasses that line 9th Avenue. All the streets in Calgary in the downtown core are linked with these passageways so that in the winter, when the wind is howling, you can go from building to building all over downtown and never have to go outside.
Oh, he just made it underneath.
You can see it.
Did you feel that, Bob?
Yes.
That life bear is 45 feet tall, and it takes about 3 hours to blow him back up. Of course, it takes about 15 seconds to deflate him if you have keys.
There's the Calgary Fire Department, one of the antique fire trucks in their collection. That's a sharp-looking rig.
And two junior fire chiefs are riding with Calgary's Fire Chief Wayne Morris. A big thrill for 9-year-old Alana Haynes of Calgary and 9-year-old Melissa McLaughlin of Anaheim, California.
Wow.
They were the winners of the Great Escape Contest, so that's thrilling. Not only did they get to come to Calgary, they get to be in the parade and see all of the fun at the Stampede.
I think they'll remember this day.
No kidding.
I'm not sure if he will, though. Looking on. Here's some of Calgary's aldermen in an antique car. 12 of the 14 aldermen on Calgary City Council riding in the parade today. There's a couple of more of the aldermen.
And of course, there's a civic election coming up in the fall.
That's right.
Mayor
So
Al Dor will step down, so they want to be seen. That's right, if they want to keep their seat.
That's right. He's a little bit too young to vote, but he's interested all the same. There's another one of those antique cars. Looks like an old Thunderbird there. Am I wrong? Some beautiful vehicles, just part of the spectacle of the GMC Calgary Stampede Parade.
And now coming up, we have the contingent from Queensland, Australia.
Oh, these guys are incredible horsemen. Colleen is going to talk to some of these guys now. I got to say it, from the Mujaraba troop.
With the Australian contingent, hello to you.
Hello.
Come a long way.
I certainly have, and we're really enjoying it.
I can imagine. Was it what you were expecting?
Much more.
I bet. Where is Mujaraba?
It's down on the Gold Coast in Queensland.
Is that right? Oh, beautiful. How'd you hear about the Stampede? I think you guys have got to... You can't stop the parade, by the way. How did you hear about the Stampede?
It's well known in Australia and in the world.
Okay, say your good day from Australia.
Good day, mate.
Good day, night to you as well. Enjoy the parade.
Throw another shrimp on the bobby, Bob.
The 14th Australian Light Horse Regiment with their emu feathers in their hats. This is an incredible group of horsemen. I saw a demonstration with those lances riding at a full gallop and picking up tent pegs off the ground. That's got to be dangerous.
And of course, they preserve the rich history of the Australian Light Horse. The Light Horse Regiment is remembered for its bravery from the Boer War right through Gallipoli and the Middle East. And the regiment also served with Lawrence of Arabia in World War I.
So they got a great history, and they're maintaining that tradition. Great to have them here in the 2001 edition of the Stampede Parade. Some of the Calgary Stampede volunteers, a salute to the volunteers who make this show work. It's a central part of the life of Calgary. I don't think any other city in Canada has anything like this. The whole city takes part. People dress Western. Not too much work gets done. Oceans of alcohol are consumed. It takes over the life of the city for 10 days in the summer.
Here's another one of those 24 bands that are performing in the Stampede Parade. Another band from Minnesota. This is the Hastings Raiders High School Marching Band.
Hundreds of hours of practice, and probably hundreds of hours of fundraising behind getting these kids here.
It's their first trip to Canada.
That's right. They stay in high school gymnasiums along with the other band members. They have a wonderful time. They not only play in the parade, but they play at locations all over the city for the 10 days of the Stampede. They're busy. It's a memorable trip they'll remember for the rest of their lives.
On my way down here today, as a matter of fact, I saw them getting ready to leave. They were staying at Ernest Manning High School, just near where I live.
Let's take a listen now to another wonderful band from the state of Minnesota. Calgary Historic Park. This is where Calgary came to be, where the Bow River and the Elbow River came together. It's where the RCMP first built the first post. It's where the parade forms up, and it lay idle for many, many years. Now they've fixed it up, built a new stockade, and it's become quite a historic theme park in Calgary.
And these folks are gamers, Bob, because this float, I'm told, has a flat tire. But it's bouncing along on its rim, and they're trying to keep things together. They just rumbled underneath our broadcast location. I don't see any. Do you see any gas stations along the route here? I don't see any service stations. They're going to have to go the rest of the route bouncing along, so they're going to be a little dizzy by the end of it. Of course, Fort Calgary, about 20 blocks east of our location. A wonderful place to give you the history and the sense of Calgary. My kids love it. If you come to Calgary, be sure to check it out.
That's right. Now here with their message, play safe, the War Amps, perennial favorites in the Calgary Stampede Parade. Astar, the gold robot, remember the commercials on television? From Planet Danger, tells everybody to play safe and drive safe.
And welcome back to Streetside. I'm with Commander Gord Peskin from HMCS Calgary. Welcome to Calgary, but you've been here once before.
Only a couple times, but every time we come back, it's absolutely fantastic. It's a great honor to be here.
You guys are stationed in Victoria, but tell me about your last job. What were you to?
The last job of the ship was 6 months in the Arabian Gulf with the American Battle Group enforcing UN sanctions against Iraq. That was a 6-month tour, and the ship arrived back in Esquimalt in December.
I bet you were glad to get home. Enjoy the parade.
Thanks very much.
You're looking at 25 members of the crew of the HMCS Calgary. That was Commander Gord Peskin. The Calgary is one of the new Canadian Navy patrol frigates, and as he just said, he's back from 6 months in the Gulf of Arabia. It carries the name of Calgary. It was named after a World War II corvette that served with distinction in the Second World War.
Well, this is one of my favorite parts of the parade, Bob. Rodeo royalty, that's right. These are rodeo queens and princesses from all over the world. And when I say all over the world, I mean all over the world. They are here from, of course, all over Alberta, but they're also here from as far away as Australia.
Well, rodeo is actually becoming quite a big deal.
Glenn O'Neill, actually, a tremendously talented saddle bronc rider, has won the big event here in Calgary. He is from Australia, moved to Alberta, now lives in Water Valley, which is just outside of Calgary.
And now Christina is down on the street with the parade marshal.
That's right, I'm here with Jan. She's a street marshal. Now that's a very official sounding job. What do you actually do?
My basic job is just to make sure that the people stay with their bums on the curb in case a horse gets out of control, and we don't want any accidents.
So has anyone given you any trouble?
No, the people in my area here have been just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
But you've mentioned some people do become difficult.
In years past, when people come early and have a seat where they shouldn't, and then I ask them to move, sometimes they don't really like to do it, but generally speaking, they're really,
it's all
really
for the
good.
perfect seat, though, right? Well, I better let you go so you can keep everyone in line.
Thanks very much.
All right.
This is a pretty well-behaved crowd, Bob. Most of the trouble in Calgary during Stampede happens once the sun goes down.
That's right. It's too early in the morning for trouble.
That's right.
Here are some of the many native participants in the Stampede Parade. Hundreds of native people from southern Alberta, from the Treaty 7 tribes, the Blood, the Piegan, the Sarcee, the Stoney, are in the parade every year. Extremely popular with tourists. It's a privilege for us to have them as our neighbors. In fact, the Tsuut'ina, the Sarcee band, is Calgary's immediate neighbor to the southwest. This float celebrates the First Nations Adult Higher Learning Consortium.
And it's quite a multicultural float as well, because not only do we have Native Canadians, we have Native Americans, Hawaiians, and Maoris as well.
These outfits they're wearing take hundreds of hours. The beadwork is incredible. As we look west down 9th Avenue in Calgary, as the 2001 GMC Calgary Stampede Parade continues on CBC television. Here's an interesting story. This is the Alberta Cattle Commission. The cattle business remains one of the big pillars of the economy of Alberta. And these three women are the new face of the advertising campaign for Alberta beef. They are real ranchers. This is the real deal. All three women run their own or work on their own family ranches.
And they're called Alberta Ranchers, Bob. I didn't make that one up. That's part of their advertising campaign. They're 22-year-old Aaron Butters, 37-year-old Patty Scott, and 61-year-old Lenore McLean. Of course, I'm not supposed to give away the ages of women, but they provided the biographical information, so it's my duty to broadcast it.
That's right, and all the way from Red Deer, about an hour and a half's drive north of Calgary, right in the middle of the province, the Red Deer Royals, saluting their band leader, Keith Mann. 100 members. 11 years old up through 18, chosen from auditions from 20 schools in the Red Deer region. A great band playing the Sousa tune King Cotton.
Now we can see the cattle penning folks coming along. I was lucky enough to take part in a media cattle penning competition last year. It's incredible. It's way harder than it looks. I was lucky to have a great horse. Now, here's a closer look at what it's actually all about on parade.
On Parade, brought to you by GMC, 365 days a year.
Like barrel racing and bareback riding, cattle penning is rooted in ranch life. And like so many rodeo events, something that was once an everyday chore, rounding up the herd, became a sport for all ages.
Cattle penning is a team sport, an equestrian sport, where we have three riders riding three horses, entering the pen. It's a timed event. It's not judged. It's timed. What happens is we have the riders going down after three head of cattle. They're cutting them out of a herd of 30, bringing them down the other end, putting them inside the pen, which will stop the clock.
Competition is all part of the game. But cattle penning is all next-door neighbor friendliness.
Don't have to travel too far to do it, and you can just be with your friends, relax, win or lose, you have fun.
On Parade was brought to you by GMC. 365 days a year.
And there's some of the people from the Stoney tribe, also known as the Nakota. If you've ever driven the main highway, Highway 1 from Calgary to Banff, you've passed right through the Stoney Reserve. The name means stone people or stone boilers. They used to heat rocks. That's how they did their cooking. That's the origin of the name. But they call themselves the Nakota.
And the Stoney tribe is comprised of 3 different bands, the Good Stoney, the Chiniki, and the Bear's Paw. And as Bob mentioned, the reserves are located west of Calgary in Morley and west of Longview in Eden Valley. And of course, Longview would be south of Calgary.
Some of the most beautiful country that you have ever seen.
And beautiful costumes, by the way. Check out those headdresses.
People from the Stoney tribe of southern Alberta.
And if you ever come down to the Calgary Stampede and have the opportunity to get over to the grounds, visit the Indian Village. You see teepees set up there. It's colorful. It's a throwback to the old way of life, and it really is a trip down memory lane.
Ken Limacuelo's on the street with a special guest.
Hey guys, as you know from all these people out here, everybody loves a parade, but I don't think everybody loves one as much as Esther. Esther, how many parades do you figure you've been to?
Oh, pretty close to 50, I think.
50 in a row.
Must be, yeah.
Tell me, what were parades like way back when, say, during the war years? They were a lot different, I imagine.
During the war years, a lot of them, we didn't have many floats, not much color of anything. And it was mostly bands, military bands, and just mostly all military.
So a lot of horses and soldiers, eh? How have things changed now? What do you like about today?
Oh, the ride. There is so, and the different cultures, and it's just so much,
Lots to see, and you'll be back next year, I bet.
Lots. Well, I'm hoping, yeah.
All right, thanks.
50 years ago, and I've got my granddaughter, and I have great grandkids now.
Bring them back as many times as you can. Thanks.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you.
The Heritage Park display. This is a wonderful theme park in Calgary celebrating the historical heritage of southern Alberta. They've taken old antique buildings from wherever they could find them and moved them next to the Glenmore Reservoir and created a turn-of-the-century village right here in Calgary. It's a wonderful place to visit. They got a huge working railroad with a real steam engine pulling real antique rail cars.
And I spend almost every weekend there because I have 2 young kids, aged 5 and 3, and they love the old steam engine, which travels around the park. And of course, they have a paddle wheeler that travels around the Glenmore Reservoir, and it's called the SS Moyie.
That's right. Now, here's a perennial favorite in the Stampede Parade, the Cranbrook Girls Bugle Band, formed back in 1941. This is the 48th consecutive appearance in the Stampede Parade. This band is now 60 years old. Members going back that far have come in for the celebration from all over the world, from New York, from Botswana, from the Dominican Republic. They've scattered to the 4 corners. They came back to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Cranbrook Girls Bugle Band. They're great musicians. Let's hear them play.
Calgary Stampede, so nice to talk to you.
Colleen, what do I do? Give you an in-turn or an out-turn?
Give me both. I can throw them both. I gotta hear your call.
Well, I think probably what you want to hear when the wagons are lined up and ready to go and the klaxon horn sounds, and I say, and they're off.
Oh, that's what I want to hear. Tell me, for an Easterner, the half-mile of hell, describe that.
Well, you got 4 wagons, you got 32 horses, you got 20 cowboys, all going around calling what they call a half a mile of hell. Don't they have one in Halifax?
I'd rather throw an out-turn than do the half mile of hell. Good to talk to you,
Thank you,
Joe.
Colleen. Thank you, dear.
Oh, Bob, I love Joe Carver. He's got the voice of the Rangeland Derby, and they're off. He's been doing it forever. It's just great. He embodies the spirit of the Calgary Stampede, and I do believe every year he says, you know what? This might be my last year. He said that for about 5 years, and I think this may be his last year. So get yourself one of those Air Canada web savers and get your butt into the seats in Calgary and check out the Chuck Wagons on Joe Carberry just before he retires.
There's some of those Chuck Wagons and the Outriders right now, pulled by thoroughbred horses. These things really move. Some of the...
7-story fall.
Frank, you made the news.
Introducing the first sport utility that's as comfortable as it is capable.
Thanks for the lift. You always drive? Yeah. I hate flying.
The 2002 Envoy from GMC.
Some of the thousands of kids who enjoy this spectacle every year line the streets, 300,000 strong in the bright sunshine. There's some of the antique cars.
Carrying MLAs, representing the province of Alberta, of course, the Progressive Conservatives, under the leadership of Premier Ralph Klein. And there are 21 members of the Legislative Assembly representing the city of Calgary.
And 10 of them in this parade today. Now here's the Alberta Massed Pipes and Drums. Together for the first time, this is members of the University of Calgary Pipe Band, the Calgary Scottish Pipe Band, the RCMP Pipes and Drums from Sherwood Park near Edmonton, the Police Service Pipe Bands, and a couple of youth pipe bands from the Ogden Legion here in Calgary, and the pipes of the old 78th Fraser Highlanders. So all together, first time ever. If it goes well, this group can be back, and it sounds like it is going well. So let's listen to a first in the Stampede, the Alberta Massed Pipes and Drums. And as the pipers pass by, our camera picks up a wonderful entry, the Calgary Regional Appaloosa Club. These horses are so beautiful. 24 members of the Regional Appaloosa Club in today's parade. Two of the members dressed in native outfits, the rest in the club's colors, teal and purple accents. This club's been around since the late 50s, celebrating the virtues of those wonderful horses.
All right, here's some horse trivia for you, Bob. Appaloosas have 4 characteristics that differentiate them from other breeds. What are they?
They have 4 legs. No, all horses have 4 legs. They have those spots. They got the spots.
And I'm on the float. I'm with Bonhomme, the Winter Carnival mascot. Everybody knows you. Look, this is fun. Do you like this?
Yeah, it's very beautiful days for a happy Stampede.
I am very afraid you're going to melt, though.
You think?
I think it's hot out here. What do you
I'm a
think?
snowman. It's okay for me.
Oh, I've always wanted to have...
I'm here in a happy Stampede.
Yeah, happy Stampede. I want to come to the carnival now. See you later.
I knew he'd show up.
I didn't know he
comes
talked,
to the
though.
Stampede every year. He's the only mascot that does. Here's members of the Blackfoot Nation, also known as the Siksika, from east of Calgary.
Also members of the Blood,
right?
And the
Blood
Piegan.
tribe down south of here near Cardston and Lethbridge in the southern part of the province. And the Piegan tribe. So all of the Treaty 7 nations are represented in the Calgary Stampede, also take part in the Stampede for the next 10 days. And as Doug mentioned, they have an Indian village on the Stampede grounds. It's the only place ever where all the tribes would ever camp together. You would never see that in the history of these tribes going back tens of thousands of years.
And you know, archaeological evidence shows that these people have lived on this land for more than 4,000 years. It's a lot longer than I've been in Calgary, Bob.
That's right. But I've been covering the parade just about that long. Now these people, like everybody else who's marched in the parade, get up in the middle of the night, form up in the east part of the city at Fort Calgary. They've already put in a long day, but they're pumped.
And they still have a couple of kilometers to go.
And who wouldn't be?
And it is getting warm out here. Expected to reach a high of 29 degrees. Absolutely perfect.
So as more of the Blackfoot people march by on the GMC Calgary Stampede Parade on one of the most beautiful days of the year, 29 degrees in Calgary, a perfect day to have your cowboy hat on.
And Bob, you know the grounds are already open.
That's right, and the Midway's thriving.
So as soon as this is all over, People will be heading straight from here and heading straight east about 20 blocks down to the Stampede grounds. The midway twirling away already. A lot of action.
Here's something. Now look at this. This is one of the best floats in the parade. This is the Vancouver International Airport float. Described as the best animation, as you see there on your screen. Every 18 seconds, this plane lifts up, takes off, and then 18 seconds later, it lands.
Keeping the air traffic controllers busy.
That's right. Made out of plywood and chicken wire, paint, and an awful lot of hard work. The Vancouver International Airport. Employees, volunteers put 1,500 hours into making this plane, and that's not unusual. The floats in this Stampede Parade are labors of love. So much time and effort goes into it. People are proud of what they've done, celebrating the spirit of this city.
Made out of chicken wire, you said?
Chicken wire, plywood, and paint.
Must have got the blueprints from the Wright brothers.
That's right. On the route, moving at approximately 210 feet per minute, the whole 4.5 kilometers. Here comes the North Vancouver Youth Band. Last time they were in this parade, 41 years ago, back in 1960, when they were the tops, made a clean sweep of the band competition. They've taken 41 years off. They're back for another try this year.
Probably their parents were in the parade last time around.
Could be. 41 years ago. Founded in 1939, celebrated their 60th anniversary in 99. North Vancouver's Youth Band. Boy, there's a big pair of feet. Look at those horses. The Diamond Z Ranch. This is called an English Shire 6-horse hitch.
They are the closest cousins to the Clydesdale breed, Bob. But they're bigger than Clydesdale. They weigh in at 2,000 pounds and they measure 18 to 20 hands high. That's a big horse.
You said it. There's a lot of horse flesh. From Salt Lake City. You saw that American flag. They brought that thing up here from 250 miles south of Salt Lake City, the Diamond Z Ranch.
And they were the original war horses of England. They were ridden by the knights in battle. So if they had a couple of lances, they'd be all set.
That's right.
I've made some friends over here, and as you know, it's very hot down here. I've got my water, but you guys, you packed a lunch, didn't you? What kind of things did you bring?
We bring sandwich and a cheese.
And lots of juice, right? Mm. Okay, you guys, we're ready for a big Yahoo? Ready? 2, 3. Yahoo!
There are some of the native elders in the Stampede Parade, highly respected within their communities.
And riding in the convertibles are Pius' 3 sons from the Siksika tribe, and Earl and Allison Healy from the Blood tribe. Earl Healy is also a championship traditional dancer, and if you've ever seen native dancing, it is spectacular, and now the hoop dancing, which has kind of evolved over the years, is even more spectacular.
It's a magical part of the Stampede, and we're lucky to have them. Here's the Calgary Korean Association. They do a great job on their entry, representing Korea's past. In Korean native costume, on the float, you'll see a bride and groom in traditional Korean wedding clothes. Members on the street playing gongs and drums. And if you look closely, you'll see one of them wearing a traditional Korean hat.
And behind the float is a traditional music troupe from Taijeon. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Calgary's sister city in Korea. 5 members of the troupe are dancing and singing. They're all dressed also as well in traditional native costumes. So they're a long way from home.
Let's see if we can hear them. The Calgary Korean Association. You've heard the pipes and drums. You've heard the military bands. Now you're hearing something completely different. This musical troupe will be performing around Calgary, as do so many of the musical entries in the Stampede Parade, representing the Korean community in Calgary. Sing along if you know the words, Doug.
Don't know the words, sorry. And remember, the Stampede Parade is also being carried on the internet for viewers around the world. You can catch the webcast right now by pointing your browser at calgary.cbc.ca. And a replay will also be available on the webpage. The webcast is powered today by our friends at Jetstream Digital Media. So this is the parade that just keeps on giving and giving, Bob.
That's right. It's going to have the biggest audience of any parade ever.
All right, let's go down to street level.
An interesting singing group down here. One guy looks a little bit familiar. It's the Heebie-Jeebies.
I'm in a hurry to get things done. Oh, I rushing till life's no fun. All I really gotta do is live and die, but I'm in a hurry and don't know why. Can't be late. I gave it plenty of time. Chasing hands on the clock. Yeah, I can't stop. I'm on a roll and I'm ready to rock. I'm in a hurry to get things done. Oh, I rushing till life's no fun. All I really gotta do is live and die, but I'm in a hurry and don't know why.
Clap your hands now.
I'm in a hurry to get things done. Oh, I rushing till life's no fun. All I really gotta do is live and die, but I'm in a hurry and don't know why.
Back to my day job.
Fantastic. Forget about the Backstreet Boys. That's Calgary's own NSYNC. Ken Lee McQuillo is one of the members.
Heebie-jeebies.
Heebie-jeebies, sorry.
If that was NSYNC, they couldn't walk 3 feet down the parade route without getting mobbed.
The Heebie-jeebies.
They are NSYNC in training.
You bet. NSYNC in their voices. Look at this. The Calgary Stampede Farm Equipment Committee with a couple of vintage John Deere tractors. I told you you're going to see all kinds of vehicles in this parade. Those are convertibles. They got the top down because the weather's just fine.
Yeah, they're 2 vintage John Deere tractors from 1942 and 1946. They are A models, and they have been restored by their drivers, and they'll be competing in the annual vintage tractor pull during Stampede. I don't think it's like a monster truck pull. These ones aren't moving quite as quickly.
Believe it or not, that thing is floored. He's going as fast as he can.
Well, you know, there's not a lot to hit out in the field.
That's right. They don't make them like that anymore. In the distance, you can hear the drum beat of the Calgary North Stars drumline and guard. This is stomp music. This is an entirely percussion band, no brass, just drums.
Yeah, Bob and Doug, this is a really different experience. Winter Guard is a huge phenomenon. What it is, it's drums, it's dancing, it's movement. They use all sorts of apparatus to tell a story. Normally, these guys are not just running down a street. They're setting up at a huge pavilion and doing almost musical theater while playing all these wonderful marching instruments we know about. And they compete all over the U.S. So Calgary North Star is one of the finest in the country, if not the world.
Listen to the North Stars drumline and guard. As we move along, the Stampede Parade never stopping.
This is the Camrose Chamber of Commerce float. Camrose, a place to call home, is the theme behind this 32-foot long float. And of course, Camrose is near Edmonton, and Colleen's down at street level.
I'm with Preston Manning. Hello to you.
Well, good morning. Good morning.
I bet you've done a lot of these parades.
I've done a few, yeah.
And you have to teach me how to do a Calgary welcome. Do you know how to do one?
Well, you just say Yahoo!
Yahoo! Like that. Oh, lots of fun. It's nice to be in Calgary. Quite a parade.
It's great. It's a great day, too.
Isn't it? Excellent. Thanks, Preston.
Some of the many politicians that ride in the parade, from local aldermen to members of the Legislative Assembly of Alberta to members of Parliament. There was one of the more famous ones from Calgary, Preston Manning. Joe Clark's in this parade too, also from Calgary, leader of the Tory party.
A fancy City Kirk, Joe Clark is in. Hello. What kind of
like my car.
I'm loving it. What is it anyway?
It's a Duesenberg 8, one of 3 in existence.
Can I? Oh, one of 3. Can I take it home? Don't scratch the car for crying out loud.
That's right.
What's your earliest memory of this parade?
My earliest memory was as a cub reporter 400 years ago when I covered this for the Calgary Herald.
Really?
Yeah, I had to carry the booze for the real reporters. Now that was in another time.
You're giving us all a bad name
Oh, that was in times past.
Now, this is a real showcase for Western hospitality.
It's a great showcase for Western hospitality, and the city really has turned it on for people, as it does every Stampede. But it's a great show, and you're keeping me away from my fans.
You better hustle on. Yeah, you keep waving. Yeah, we're glad to see you, Joe Clark. Thank you very much.
It takes a strong arm to wave for 4.5 kilometers. I think Joe Clark's got the wave muscle.
And this, of course, is right in the heart of his ride in Calgary Center, and it takes a really strong arm to throw a football the size of the one that's coming up right now. This is the Calgary Stampeder Football Club float. The Stampeders, well, you know, I'd like to report that they won their opening game the other night, but they didn't. They were beaten rather badly by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, 48-20. But that hasn't prevented them from coming out in force. They're the Calgary Outrider cheerleaders behind, and
these girls do an awesome job at Stampeders football games. Just amazing.
There's several players on the float. I can see Jamie Crysdale, who's an offensive lineman, probably a little banged up from that game the other day. Mark Richter, a fine receiver. One of the quarterbacks, Ben Sankey, who started the game the other night against Winnipeg, and Travis Moore, a fine receiver as well.
The Stampeders really turned into a contender, perennial powerhouse in the Canadian Football League, and Calgarians support it. The stadium's full for Stampeders games, a very big ticket item in Calgary's calendar. Behind them, Regina's Lions, Pride of the Lions band, high school kids, age 13 to 18.
You talked about the B band before?
That's right.
This might be the A band.
Yeah, the Regina Lions. They play contemporary, they play traditional. They'll be playing a tune called Hot, 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 which is what it is down there on the street. The temperature's climbing. It's going to reach 29 today. And I'll bet it's 25 down there right now. Right in the middle of one of the great spectacles Canada puts on, the Calgary Stampede Parade. Put your hands together. Hey, am I the only one clapping here?
And I'm not dancing with you.
You're a music lover. Come on, get up and dance. Oh yeah, one of my favorite entries. The Calgary Arabian Horse Association. How about those costumes? How about those horses? Some of the most beautiful horses in the world, Arabians.
Those are beautiful costumes, Bob, but they're also practical. For example, the first desert costumes were worn to protect riders from the sun, the heat, the wind, and the sand.
Think she's having fun?
Just a little.
She should be. Riding a beautiful horse in front of 300,000 people in one of the world's great parades.
And they're riding those Arabians. They're originally bred by the Bedouins as war mounts because they're agile, loyal, intelligent, and they had good stamina. And they need stamina today. 4.5 kilometers.
You need a good temperament too. You can't have just any horse in the parade because there's a lot of things that can spook them. So they have to cull out the ones that are too nervous. You can only have a horse that has a pretty steady temperament marching in this parade. We've got more than 600 of them today. As we look at some of the beautiful Arabians from the Calgary Arabian Horse Association as the Stampede Parade continues.
And that
2001 edition.
Also includes a beautiful carriage, an Arabian team all the way from Smiley, Saskatchewan.
Smiley?
Plenty of reasons to smile today. Hey, and I see a dog down there riding. That's just not right.
What is this?
That's somebody after a long night at Stampede.
And it's just begun.
We've been invaded. This is Spooky's haunted house, I do believe, Bob.
Are you looking looking at one of the Stampede pooper scoopers, but this one is really dressed up. I told you before, you got to have these things in a Stampede parade. Let's go to Christina with a special guest.
And I have discovered someone with a poop detector. Now, what exactly does that thing do?
It mostly finds poop.
And there's a lot of it down here, isn't it?
Yes, there is, because there's lots of horses.
So what do you do with it after you find it?
We bring it back to our planet.
That sounds interesting. Thanks a lot. You better catch up to your UFO.
They bring it back to their planet. What do they? Is that how they power? Is that how they power their floats?
Don't go
on that planet.
Here's the. You have corporations, you have ethnic groups, you have private businesses. Here's the best corporate entry in the Stampede Parade today. This is from the Alberta Treasury Branch. Speckles, the Savosaurus.
And they have their trophy mounted right on the front of the float.
That's right.
I see there's an ATM, Bob. Can you lend me a few bucks?
We can nip right down there.
Good luck getting the money out of that thing.
Hey, there's money coming out of there right now, it looks like. Behind them, the herd from Buffalo High School. First trip ever to Canada from Buffalo, Minnesota. Look at the costumes. Look at the flags.
It always amazes me, Bob. They're from Buffalo, Minnesota, as you mentioned. And it's a town of 10,000, but there seems to be about 4,000 of them here right now playing in the band. It's a big group.
Minnesota has got to be the band capital of North America. Every year in the Stampede, we have several bands from Minnesota, and they're always great. Well-rehearsed, beautiful costumes, tight marching. Look at this. From Buffalo High School, one of the best, the Herd. Oh yeah, you could not have a Stampede Parade without these guys, the Shriners, and the Shriners Air Force.
Good luck getting that one off the ground.
One of these things. Look at that.
I don't know, it's funny. My kids love the Shriners. They love these little planes. I don't know who has more fun in these parades, the little kids or the big kids. Look at these guys.
And here's the Shriners with the Tin Lizzies. They've definitely got the best vehicles, don't you think?
Good
and
on
the
gas.
Best hats.
Good on gas.
The good hats and the good shoes. You haven't seen it yet. The Shriners got the shoes and the vehicles. The people with the pointy shoes coming up, curly toes. Yes. Alizar Shriners.
There are 8 mini planes in the Air Corps. The Corps has 21 members that actively raise money for the Crippled Children's Hospital Fund. So they're not just having a good time, they're also raising money for great causes.
And I like their titles. You got the Potentate, right? The illustrious Sir Bruce Hilton is this year's Potentate. He's the guy on the horse. You'll see him shortly.
For the rest of the show, do you want me to call you the Grand Poobah?
I want to be the Potentate. The Potentate of the parade.
All right.
More Shriners still to come in the Tin Lizzies. These guys do great work. They raise a lot of money for hospitals, and they're an indispensable part of the Stampede Parade. A perennial favorite.
And sometimes they split this group up so they can appear in more than one parade at a time. I mentioned earlier that I was at the Canada Day Parade in Canmore, and they were there.
Those are Air Jordans, I think, right? The original model?
Not exactly traditional Stampede wear, but I bet a lot comfortable than cowboy boots after 10 days.
The curly-toed shoes of the Shriners Band, the Oriental Band, last unit of the Shrine Procession today. They love to perform, and this is a great showcase for them.
And coming up right behind them, we have the Calgary Polo Cross Association. Now, I cover sports for a living as well, so polo cross is an unusual game. It was developed in Australia and combines the fundamentals of lacrosse with polo and equestrian skills. And it's the fastest growing one-horse sport in North America. Same idea as polo, trying to score when the ball's thrown between the goalposts at each end of the field. And of course, we have a large and active polo club in Calgary, near Calgary, out in De Winton, and I would imagine that's where they play their games.
That's right. The Polo Association in Calgary has been going practically since people first landed here. Very popular sport. Here's a street sweeper that's dressed up for the Stampede Parade. in a very strategic location right behind the polo cross entry. Yes.
The GMC Calgary Stampede Parade on CBC is brought to you by GMC, 365 days a year.
You are looking at it, and we are back with our CBC coverage of the 2001 edition of the Calgary Stampede Parade. And there's one of my favorite entries, I think, with that. There we go. The Penticton Peach Festival from the Okanagan Valley, where the sun always shines.
Peaches.
You bet. The float features a simulated lake scene, and on it, Penticton's 53rd Royal Group, Miss Penticton and her first princess and her second princess. First princess is Jennifer Conch, and the second princess, Felicia Bell, waving to the crowd, enjoying the sunshine in Calgary.
Well, you know who's also on board, Bob?
No.
And maybe we'll see as we go around here. Features a simulated lake scene complete with Ogopogo. That's the Lake Okanagan's legendary sea monster, and there's a huge reward if you can find Ogopogo. So there's another reason to visit Peachland in the Okanagan. There he is. There's Ogopogo. What's he doing out of the water?
Taking a breath. He's a mammal. I've been told he is a mammal. Gotta breathe.
Maybe he'll stop by and visit the Royal Tyrrell while he's here, see some of his cousins.
Here's the Performance Standardbred. 6 riders demonstrating English and Western styles of riding, all riding Performance Standardbred horses. These are the horses that pull the sulkies in harness racing, which they do at Stampede Park.
And they also have a horse adoption program. The Performance Standardbred Association has placed more than 100 horses through their program. They follow a strict screening process to ensure the horses end up in the best possible homes, and so they're doing some good work as well.
And here's the Calgary Roundup Band, junior high school band, with kids aged 12 to 15. It's Calgary's oldest youth marching band, formed way back in 1959. Calgary Roundup Band playing a tune called Wrangler, a classic Western-style march tune. Let's give a listen. And right behind the band, some of the most colorful entrants you'll ever see in any parade. This is the Steel Scouts. And we have put together a little video to tell you a little bit of the history of these guys and their outfits.
On Parade, brought to you by GMC, 365 days a year.
Every time the Steel Scouts don their uniforms and saddle up their horses, they bring history to life. With their authentic and closely replicated equipment and gear, today's Steel Scouts are a living testament to the cavalry troop Inspector Sam Steele founded back in 1885 during the Northwest Rebellion.
We try to be as true as possible. They wore shotgun shafts, they had buckskins, they had the brown hat, and the reason they had the brown hat turned up is so that they could distinguish them from the enemy or the people that they were fighting, because at that particular time, most people, especially the plainsmen, they wore buckskins.
Steel Scouts, halt! Steel Scouts, General, salute! Salute!
As the New West evolves and urban life expands, the members of the Steel Scouts feel they play an important role in preserving Alberta's history.
Well, I would say it's very important to, I mean, if you're going somewhere, you got to know where you came from.
On Parade was brought to you by GMC, 365 days a year.
You're watching the coverage of the greatest parade in Canada, starting the 2001 edition. I want to say 19, the 2001 edition of the Stampede.
Bob's been doing this parade so long, he's flashing back to previous parades, and they're all great, of course, and we're seeing chuck wagons, more chuck wagons going underneath. And you can see the chuck wagons race every night down at the grounds at the Rangeland Derby. It's the half mile of hell. We heard from Joe Carberry earlier.
Behind them, Cowichan Lake on Vancouver Island. Beautiful community.
That's the home of LPGA golf star Donko Jones. There's a little trivia for you. Yeah, absolutely. Now lives in Florida, however.
So Big Bear joins Lake Cowichan's princess, Dana Newfer, around a smoking campfire. This is a gorgeous place on Vancouver Island, one of the most beautiful places you could ever visit. Built by the community, took hundreds of hours to put together.
And coming up right behind Cowichan Lake is the float from M&M Meat Shops. Max is the name of this giant brown and white Hereford steer. He's the largest steer in Canada and belongs to M&M Meat Shops. And there's a lot of hamburger in that.
Max Burgers.
Max Burgers, exactly. 12 feet high, 23 feet long, and 7 feet wide.
Fire up the barbecue.
Suddenly I'm light peckish. And M&M Meat Shops, of course, doing great charity work. They've donated nearly $5 million to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. In fact, I'll be playing in their golf tournament later this month.
Here comes the Allegiance Elite Drum and Bugle Corps. Used to be two bands, but now they're together. They performed in the Stampede every year since the band was formed back in '87. 63 members, and they're looking for new members. So if you've got a yen to play in the Stampede Parade, this might be a good group to join. They would like to be up to 128 members, so there's lots of room.
Halfway there, that's right.
That's right. They perform, they compete. They'll perform more than 30 times a year, and they'll perform all over North America. In fact, this year, they'll be at the Drum Corps International World Championships in Buffalo, New York, and other competitions in Canada and the United States. Let's listen to the Allegiance Elite Drum and Bugle Corps. Ever been to Cochrane, Doug?
I've been to Cochrane, Bob, for that famous McKay's ice cream.
Yes.
Sounds like a commercial, doesn't it?
It does.
Cochrane, Alberta, located just 22 kilometers west of the Calgary city limits. Also the home of country star George Fox.
That's right. But you don't need to do a commercial for Cochrane. This is a beautiful place to live, right on the Bow River. They have formed a blue and yellow color party, followed by a horse-drawn wagon. Cochrane is approaching its 100th birthday. It'll be 100 years old in the year 2003. It's in the heart of ranch country. Beautiful place to live.
With the new Duramax diesel engine and an Allison automatic transmission, the 300 horsepower GMC Sierra Heavy Duty is the most powerful diesel pickup ever.
It's a bit of a fixer-upper.
The all-new GMC Sierra Heavy Duty.
You're back watching CBC coverage of the Calgary Stampede Parade. Who are your guests there, Ken?
Well, you know, guys, there's a lot of things to see on a parade day, but these guys have something special. What are you guys here to see?
The guys!
Bryn, Kaylee, and Ashley are all here to see the guys. Now, do you have any particular favorites? How about you, Ashley?
I like the Cowboys. I mean, and the football players are pretty hot.
Now, somebody mentioned firefighters, and here comes some of them. What do you think of those guys?
Ow! You know, clowns are my thing.
All right, maybe a little irony there, but they like the guys, and maybe they like the broadcasters, if I'm lucky. To you.
Not one of them mentioned Bob or Doug.
No. But there's the Calgary Fire Department's clown team. Now, in past years, they had big squirt guns. I think they must have taken them away from them this year. They were soaking the crowd last year.
They've been disarmed.
Yeah, disarmed. 20 clowns who entertain the spectators on the parade route today, mixing it up with the crowd. These are firefighters who donate their free time to entertain kids and their families. They perform for underprivileged kids at a Christmas concert. They do all kinds of good work all year long, in addition to their firefighting duties with the Calgary Fire Department.
And right behind them, we have the Calgary Regional Trail Riders. These horses' green straps and saddle pads are trimmed with gold. Flowers have been braided into their manes, and if you look very closely, you'll see flowers in their tails as well. It takes about an hour to get them ready for the parade.
This is a big deal in the life of all these riding clubs around Calgary. It gives them a chance to strut their stuff and show their costumes and their horses. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and the group was formed 26 years ago, raises money for different charities every year. So we have so many groups involved in the parade, volunteering their time to be part of the greatest outdoor show on earth, but they're also making a contribution to the community.
That's right. And here's another entry from the Okanagan, from the city of Vernon. The floral clock on the front of the float, represents the only working floral clock in Canada. And you'll see it in Vernon. And the merry-go-round on the back, well, there's a real merry-go-round in Polson Park in Vernon. It's a great place to visit.
And Vernon, of course, just down the road from Peachland and Kelowna and all those beautiful towns down there in the heart of the Okanagan. That's wine country, too. That's Canada's new wine region.
That's right. And here's another band from Minnesota. This from the Big Smoke, Minneapolis. The Patriots Marching Band. Look at their costumes. They've been to the Stampede Parade several times. In fact, they were the grand champions back in '96. Traditional and patriotic marches, big band, 160 members, kids from 14 to 18 years of age. Let's listen to the Patriots Marching Band out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Stars and Stripes forever. Countless hours of drill and rehearsal. They not only have to be able to play, they have to be able to march. I love the motto, the Calgary Western Riders motto, keeping the West Western. You know, you'd think that'd be easy to do, but the city's growing. And these people like to hang on to our Western ranching roots. That's what this motto is all about, the Calgary Western Riders.
And they don't mess around, Bob. You know, most people like me dress up Western for 10 days out of the year. They are required to dress Western. Long-sleeved Western shirts, jeans, cowboy boots, and hats or helmets are required.
Okay, here's some of the Tsuut'ina people, Calgary's immediate neighbors to the southwest rather. We've prepared a little video to tell you a little bit more about it.
On Parade, brought to you by GMC, 365 days a year.
For Native tribes across southern Alberta, the Stampede is a time to showcase and share the culture they preserve all year long. And nothing brings their traditions to life more than traditional outfits, music, and dance.
I think it's very important for us to keep our culture. It keeps our identity through our young children. They know where to come from. They can take more pride in their heritage. They know that the dancing is keeping the traditional part going.
On Parade was brought to you by GMC, 365 days a year.
Okay, now, if there was a hot costume, these guys would have to win the prize. This is called the Mountain Society for Creative Anachronism. And what they do is celebrate the Middle Ages. They wear armor, they have sort of medieval feasts. What you've got there is a working model of a catapult, which is sort of an ancient artillery piece. They love to dress up, and and do things the way they did it in the Middle Ages.
And several cases of heat exhaustion just waiting to happen. EMS waiting at the end of the parade route for them.
With can openers.
No kidding.
Here's some of that 300,000 strong crowd watching the spectacle pass by. And here's a great part of the Stampede Parade. In fact, I don't think they've ever missed a Stampede Parade. This is the Salvation Army Glenmore Temple Band. This is the longest running entry in the parade. The band was formed in 1893, and no entry has been in more parades than that.
Welcome back to Seaside. Now they can get guards on. They've had enough. I'm going over to talk. He's a little He tried to eat my mic. I'm going over here. Talk to about miniature horses. These things are cute, but the dog tried to eat my mic. That's the first time.
That's true.
Are they the guard dogs?
A little excitement.
Yeah.
Excellent. You continue on. I've never had a dog try to eat my mic before.
I think they're hungry as well.
A little too much sun.
Exactly, no kidding. Get those dogs some water, stat. You know, I told Colleen not to wear that hamburger around her neck during the parade.
The city of Leduc, up near Edmonton, known for its oil production. This is where they first discovered oil in Alberta, and it's still seeping out of the ground. It's sort of the backbone of the Alberta economy now. The oil pump on the derrick represents that thriving oil industry.
Earlier today, a toddler was miraculously saved from a 7-story fall.
Frank, you made the news. Introducing the first sport utility that's as comfortable as it is capable.
Thanks for the lift. You always drive?
Yeah. I hate flying. The 2002 Envoy from GMC.
Well, we're not marching, but it is definitely hot just sitting here. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing great. It's getting a little bit warm. The kids are getting a little restless, but they've really enjoyed it. They've enjoyed the bands and the horses. And what do you think, Derek? You having fun?
You better say yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you, Christina. Enjoying the parade in the brights is better than being in the rain. Right?
We've had it all just within the last 30 seconds. Colleen working with animals and Christina working with kids, two of the hardest things in show business.
Here is a great entry in the parade this year. The Trinidad and Tobago Organets Caribbean Club playing the steel drums, great music. They play at the Cara Fest on Princess Island, one of the beautiful parks by the Bow River in Calgary every summer. And they have been a member of the Calgary Parade for at least 10 years now, and a big favorite.
Ozzie George is the man leading the steel drum band. He started it up in 1971.
They play the best calypso music around that you will find in Calgary, outside of the Caribbean. They're probably the only people in the parade that are not dressed Western, but they're dressed in their own Caribbean costumes.
They aren't dressed Western, Bob, but they're probably the coolest people in the parade right now because it is scorching out there.
Colleen Jones is on the street. Colleen, who are you with?
I'm not just with anybody. I'm with the Briar Champs. Randy Furby over there. Hi, Randy. Now I'm talking stuff I know about. Dave Nedowin, Marcel. Oh, there's Marcel. Scott Pfeiffer. And look, I'm stupefied. Excellent. Now, you guys, if you want to get back to the Nokia Briar next year, because it'd be in your pretty much backyard.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely want to be back here. Next year is going to be probably the greatest Briar of all time.
Awesome, right here in Calgary. I'm running up to catch up to Randy Furby and those guys. That was the actual Briar, the cup. Hello, you guys. Look, I'm in great company now with curling. Now, look, how's your summer been?
It's been excellent.
I bet.
These events are just great.
You have fun?
Again. Absolutely.
Excellent. And wouldn't it be fun to play in the Briar next year in Calgary? Would that be?
Well, that's our goal right now. We hope to be here.
Hey, let's not forget those Olympic trials. Okay, we're both there together. Wouldn't that be fun, Salt Lake City? Nice to see you guys. Amazing who you find on the street. Randy Furby skipping the Canadian Men's Curling Champions, and Dave Nedowin and Scott Pfeiffer in the background. Marcel Rock was over there as well. See, now I'm at home, you guys.
Colleen knows a little bit about curling.
Just a little bit. She's the world champion, that's for sure.
I want that cup.
And you're probably going to get it, too.
Good luck.
I never got to touch it. I've got my own.
You'll need a special exemption, I think, to play in the Briar next year here, Colleen. Ticket sales are going fabulously well, Bob. They're hoping to break all attendance records. Last year in 1997, and the Pengrowth Saddle Dome was full for just about every draw.
The Stampede Parade continues under the bright sunshine of a gorgeous July day as the greatest outdoor show on earth kicks off 10 days of celebration that will bring Calgary not to a grinding halt, at least to a big slowdown.
There's no music in Minnesota today because we've had so many bands from that state, but we're coming up on another band that actually hails from the host city, Calgary, and that's the Central Memorial Golden Rams Marching Band.
My daughter graduated from this high school last year.
And I think on a day when it's 29 degrees outside, that black is a good choice, don't you think?
Excellent, yes.
The band is playing 3 songs today in the parade. Apollo, an adaptation of the recent radio hit Pretty Fly, and the theme from James Bond 007.
The Golden Rams of Central Memorial High School in southwest Calgary. Yeah, wave. It's a lot to take in. Here comes the Edmonton Sheriff's Posse from Alberta's other big city.
These guys are extremely brave coming down here with a posse. They're kind of outnumbered, 850,000 to about 8.
Representing 1870s style Sheriff's Posse with the big black hats, red kerchiefs. They've been around for better than 50 years now, and they appear every year at the Klondike Days Festival. That's Edmonton's sort of answer to the Stampede, celebrating the kind of gay 90s.
Yeah, the Gold Rush.
Rush.
And it comes up right after the end of the Stampede. Stampede ends on the 15th, and Klondike Days starts immediately after. So if you're coming to Alberta, you can go from one big party to the next.
That's right, and then the Westerner exhibition in Red Deer, so you can travel that corridor between Calgary and Edmonton and be at a festival for practically the whole month of July. This is the Bealby family behind 6 gigantic black Percherons pulling a beautiful blue wagon in today's parade. Myron Bealby is doing the driving. With him, his father and 2 sons, his wife Kathy and his mom Sandy. It's a family affair walking alongside.
And the Bealbys have raised draft horses for 5 generations, so this tradition goes back a long way.
Open wide, Doug. It's the Calgary Dental Assistants Association. Are you flossing regularly? Because they told me to ask you that. Are you keeping the flossing up?
If I'm not, I'm sure they're going to come up here and take care of me right away because they can spot a bad tooth at 100 feet.
The Calgary Dental Assistants Association pushing a colorful float made entirely of balloons. And you know what they're dressed as? Tooth fairies.
Really?
Yeah. They're all dressed up like tooth fairies. And the big arch overhead, Legends of a Smile.
Aye, it's the pipes, Bob. I hear the clan of Maxwell are coming.
Now here's an outfit that started off as a family group. They've taken a few non-Maxwell people in, but it's still largely the Maxwell family. What a great idea.
Excellent idea. If you don't have enough people in your clan, then expand the clan, and they're playing Cock of the North, the famous battle march.
From 12 to 75 years of age, the pipe major, Donald Maxwell. The drum major, Margaret Maxwell. behind the Pipers, credited with being the best Western theme entry, the Blue Brana Wilderness Camp, pulling a 12-foot high mountain behind a team of 2 horses. On the mountain, a silhouette of a cowboy. And that symbolizes the area where the Blue Brana Wilderness Camps are held, south of Longview, Alberta, in gorgeous, gorgeous country in the foothills.
It's their first appearance in the Calgary Stampede Parade, so for them to win a prize right out of the gate, that'll bring them back.
Coming to the end of the Stampede Parade for the year, but here's the United Calgary Chinese Association, who always put on a great show.
The GMC Calgary Stampede Parade on CBC was brought to you by GMC, 365 days a year.
We've seen Mounties, we've seen cowboys, we've seen cowgirls, we've seen giant inflatables, we've seen floats. We're out of stuff.
We've seen an astronaut as well, Chris Hadfield, the parade marshal. This was a great event. It's where the future meets the past.
That's right, celebrating the future and the past of Calgary. We've enjoyed bringing it to you. Let's go down to the folks on the street.
And as an Easterner, I must say, this is pretty cool to get the Western hospitality up close.
Well, we welcome the best and we welcome the world, so there you go.
Well, it's very cool. I've just never seen so many horses, marching bands, and pipe bands in one place.
And as a Westerner, it's incredible too. And we met a lot of nice people from all over the place that had a great time.
Wonderful music, wonderful floats, even gonga drums. Who knew?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks very much. Great to be a part of it.
We hope you've enjoyed watching it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. I'm Bob Nicholson.
And I'm Doug Dirk saying happy trails to you.
Thanks, Canada.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.